So what you do, how you doing? I'm just setting up for how to play a shot in the deep rough. Um, I'm gonna have two videos that I'm gonna put. I'll have one from the front, how it looks, and this is from the back. I'm gonna be using a 50 degree wedge, and I want to talk about how to execute hitting a shot out of the deep rough, because we had some guys say they were struggling on how to get out. Well, what I did was here is I you know, it's about as thick as, so just a little bit taller than the ball, and then I'm going to let that ball nestle down, just push it all the way to the ground, put the grass all around it. So it's about as bad as a lie as I can get from this situation. Okay, from a normal pitch shot, well, I'm going to talk to you about grip first. So what I'm going to do is you just take your normal grip, except with this, normally you just have your hands like so, like remember in my grip videos. But when you're playing around the green, you could actually have your hand a little bit more cupped, like this, because then that gives you kind of a flatter feel, because you're not really trying to bow at a shot and, you know, hit a pitch shot up in the air like so with a flat wrist. You want to have kind of a cup wrist, because there's going to be a lot of hinging involved in this shot. Okay, so the first thing you do, my shot's maybe 15 yards away. The key to this is we're going to be using this thing called the bounce on the bottom of the club. What I mean is, the bounce is if you hit the ball, hit the ground, it'll kind of hit the ground and bounce up. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make contact with the ground and then bounce off the ground, and then as the bounce is going off the ground, that's what's going to shoot the ball up in the air. Okay, and the way we're going to execute this shot, you're going to take your normal grip. So on our 30, it's basically a 30 to 35 yard shot. Okay, that's what we're going to do here. Except the difference is we're going to go ahead and make a little stronger grip. What I mean stronger is this V is going to be more towards the right side of your shoulder. Okay, we're going to choke up on the club a little bit, so the club's a little lighter. We don't want that club real heavy. We want this club a little lighter, have a little more control, so you can just wrist this club. Okay, then you're going to stand really low on this shot. You're not going to be standing up really high to do this shot, because when you stand up really high, what it does is it takes the full degrees on the club. It stays at 50 degrees. But if you go lower, it actually, in order for it to go straight, you have to open the club up, and the loft goes up, and it also increases the bounce on the club. Okay, then so there's the grip. The way the stance is on the 30 to 35 yard video that I made, I had you all place the ball basically on the sternum right here, and then you put the ball more towards the front and you leaned on the left side, and then you just took your swing and did your 30 to 35 yard shot. That's going to be the same swing that I want you to do, except the difference is, here's going to be a couple differences. You're going to choke up on the club. You're going to stand further away from the club. So 1, choke up. 2, stand further away. 3, drop your hands. You drop your hands. 4, you open the club face. Okay? And it should look like this. So you're actually trying to hit the ball. It's going to bounce and kind of hit in this area of the club. Boom. and it's actually gonna shoot up and have a lot more spin. You don't have to actually swing very hard for it to pop up. All you're trying to do is have that ball pop forward, okay? So I'm gonna take a couple shots, one shot here, and then your swing. So 1, choke down, 2, stand further away, 3, drop your hands, 4, open that club face, okay? So the weight is still gonna be the same. You're gonna keep that weight here on the left side and tilt it forward. You're not gonna change that, okay? So when you're taking it back, you're not gonna be shifting back and then shifting forward. I don't want you to do that. I want you to keep your weight very constant, because I don't want the arc of the swing. See, when you swing a club, it has an arc, like a circle. So unless you shift and then shift back, unless your timing is absolutely perfect, it's going to be very difficult to have consistency, okay? So what you do, we do those 4 things I showed you, and now the swing portion, just like in the video. All we're going to do is take a little swing, maybe right here, and then just, and it's a very wristy action. All you want to do is flip your hands through. The shaft itself is not going to be moving a lot, but the club head, the key is to have this club head moving extremely fast in comparison to your grip. What that'll do is it'll allow this club head to get through the grass without any issues. It'll be really fast, and you don't have to worry about it, okay? And also too, if you notice one thing, you notice how I told you to open the club head. Well, if it's straight, the grass can grab the face, and then you're going to have issues, right? But when it's open, you notice it's like an arrow. So it's basically like an arrow going through the grass. Your club face will not actually get tangled up in the grass, okay? So there's the things. We have the stance, like the 30 to 35 yard video. We have a change in stance. All right, I'm sorry, the swing is the same as in the 30 to 35 yard video, but the swing is the stance is different. Okay, so that's how you go about swinging. So the first thing you do when you find a shot like this, okay, you have to evaluate your lie. And what I mean is, right, you figure out how deep the lie is and how deep the grass is, right? So if the ball's nestled on the grass, you wouldn't be playing this kind of shot, because we're actually wanting to bounce the ball on the grass. Because if you do this, your club is just going to go right underneath the ball, okay? So, but if you notice here, I stuffed it, I nestled it really low in the grass. So what you do first is you can put your club right behind the ball. So you see, okay, it's like right there. It's just a big chunk of grass right behind the ball. But that's not going to be a problem, because we're not trying to get contact in that way. We're trying to just pop the ball up in the air, okay? So now that you assess your lie and you know how much grass and how deep it is in the grass, if it's near the bottom, so you know this is the shot we're going to do, okay? There you go. I'm just nestling it down. And then what you do, next thing you do is you assess how hard and how firm the ground is. It's very important you assess how hard and how firm it is. And the way you do that is through practice swings. So you go ahead and do your stance, open up that club face, and just pop the ground, hit the ground. You'll feel that club head it bouncing off the ground. You'll feel it bounce. If it's digging in because it had a heavy rainstorm, that's not the shot that we want to hit. This shot has to have ground that's moderately, just, you know, not super soft and hard. If it's hard, it'll bounce harder. So, you know, it's like imagining, you know, if you drop a ball or you drop your club, hit your club on a soft ground, it's only going to bounce a little bit. It's going to bounce real softly, right? But now imagine if the ground underneath is really heavy or really hard. Well, what's going to happen is that when you hit that bounce or the bottom of the club on the ground, it's just going to bounce off like a ping pong ball. Boom. It's going to pop real fast. So since right now it had a little rain come in, it's going to bounce just kind of soft, okay? So let me check the video, make sure it's still on. Okay. Okay. So here we have about a 15, 17 yard shot. I'm using my 50 degree, okay? You can use a 54 degree, it's fine. You can play around what feels comfortable to you, okay? There's no set standard on how to do this shot as far as what club you're going to use. And the only reason I'm using a 50 degree is because I don't want to swing really hard. I don't want to have that full-blown swing to try to pop it up just a little bit away. I just want to be able to take a little swing like this and get the ball to the hole, okay? So I'm going to talk you through it. I assess my lie. I see that the ball's nestled down all the way to the ground. I check how it feels. Like if I could get that club underneath the ball, it looks like I can. I just got barely enough room. Now I'm going to check my ground to see that my club bounces and how it's going to bounce off the ground, okay? Now when you hit this shot, you don't want to hit the ball first and then let it shoot out, okay? What you're actually doing is you're hitting the ball behind the ball, maybe about an inch, inch and a half, maybe 2 inches. And what you're doing is you're hitting it down on it, and then it's an exaggerated look, but you're hitting down below the ball, and then it's gonna pop the ball up. So basically you're hitting the ball from underneath like this, okay? So that's how this shot's gonna look. Now let me demonstrate a couple shots, okay? So I did my practice swing. I know where I'm gonna hit the ball. So I'm gonna go ahead, drop my hands, stay a little lower, open the club face, and keep my weight on the left side. I don't wanna be over here. I don't wanna be back here. I don't wanna shift, okay? Just gonna keep it very steady right here. And you wanna play that ball a little bit in front. You may have to adjust where you're gonna put the ball, okay? There it is. I'm just gonna take my little swing. There we go. Got it up there, okay? Maybe 10-foot shot, but I'm not stuck here. Okay, it can be a little better. When I hit the ground, the ground underneath was a little softer than I wanted. It didn't really bounce off. Kind of grabbed it, so that's why I took a lot more grass. So it's gonna happen. It's not always a perfect world on what's underneath, but since we were playing the bounce, it didn't actually stick. It actually got the ball up and out. And because I'm using a 50 opened up, wide up, I don't have to swing too hard to get it too far. Try it again. So if you want to, you do like your 30-yard shot, your normal shot. Choke up, stand further away, drop your hands, drop your body, and open up that club face. And then just keep your head, keep everything steady on the left side. Get that ball up in the air. There we go. Still make my par from there. Not too hard of a putt. Okay, thanks for watching. So that was some of you guys having a hard time getting out of the rough. Okay, that's going to be a really good way to practice this technique. You want to try different clubs. Like if I wanted to use the 56 degree or 54 degree, I got it set to a 55, right? To do that same shot, because I got such a long way to carry, with this shot it'll just go to the front of the green right here. It won't go very far with that same swing. That wasn't that great, too much in a rush. Again, the ground's a little soft right here, but it won't go as far and it should pop up. Let me try it again. And all you're trying to do is pop this ball up in the air, okay? So when it pops up in the air, it's gonna roll out. There's not gonna be much spin on it. And I'll show you, it actually goes a little shorter and a little higher. And it's very handsy, okay? Got up there. Just a little too much grass. So those are some things that can happen, but it's a great miss. It's by the hole. I was actually just trying to aim right here in front of the green. But what I wanted to tell you is some of you guys were having a difficult time wondering how to get out of this heavy stuff, okay? And this will work in 2-inch deep rough, 3-inch deep rough, okay? You're not going to have a difficult time getting that ball up. You may require a little harder swing because the grass, as soon as it hits the grass, it's going to want to slow that club head down. So it's really important that we keep a lot of speed on this club head so it gets right on through, okay? So that's how we do a heavy rough around the green. You can try your different clubs. You can try your 50 degree, you can try your 54, you can try your 59 or 58 degree, or your 60 degree or 64 degree, and see how it works, you know, and just start out with small swings and just see what the ball does. It's very important that you do that, okay? And some troubleshooting things that you come across. If you hit the ball, if you're noticing that you're shanking the ball, first thing, if you notice that you're shanking the ball, what's happening is you're not swinging the club like this and allowing the club head to go past your hands. But what's happening is you're kind of sweeping your hands across like that. So you don't have an opportunity for it to meet the face, okay? What you want to do is keep your hands here, let it go past the ball, okay? Also, if you're chunking it, like those couple shots that I hit right there, a tendency, what can happen is if you're hitting behind the ball and it's just like a duff, what's happening is you're not holding your weight, you know, because I'm on this uphill lie, so you have a tendency when you take a backswing to go off, to like move this way. So when I go to swing, instead of swinging the bottom of the arc where it's just behind the ball, the bottom of the arc actually changes and it's back a little bit further behind. So you gotta make sure you keep very steady and not back and not go forward, okay? So those are a couple things to look at too. I tried to give as much information as I could on this video, but I really need you guys to go out there and try it. If you don't try it, you're gonna go out on the course, you're not gonna really know how to go about this shot. But then, you know, I want you to be able to go out on the course and you have this horrible lie. It's not a horrible lie, it's just a different shot that you got to take, and you can get fairly good results. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to be taking this huge swing trying to get it out. You don't actually need to do that when you do it like this. You can just take a nice little swing, get it up there, try to get your par. Hey guys, I'm real proud of you. You guys are doing great. I've been watching a lot of progress with your swings, with your scores, with your putting. I'd like to make a chipping video here pretty soon, but right now, you know, there's so much time and so much we can do. But you know, even though we want to work on all these things in our game, we want to keep up with each thing. You know, each thing. You know, I have you guys do that drill every day. That's so that you can just manage your golf swing. You know, that's so that you can keep your golf swing synced and getting it better and better and better and better. And then when you go play and you hit some bad shots, well, you know what you got to work on. And those are the things that you want to work on. And the things that you do good, you go out every week just to see if you still got that good shot and you know how to do it. It's very important. This is all part of preparing your whole game to be all inclusive, so that it gets better and better and better and better. Again, guys, thanks for watching.